We have just finished our first assessment test yesterday, and we start with the second leg of our FDP today onwards. The first speaker for our second phase is Mr. M.T.V. Nagaraju, sir. It is our absolute honor and privilege to have sir with us. And may I take this opportunity with the permission of the House to kindly introduce him to our August gathering. Professor M.T.V. Nagaraju, sir, is a distinguished academician and educationist presently associated with Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, Amarkantak. He has rich teaching and research experience of over 23 years and has made significant contributions in the field of education, philosophy, teacher training, digital literacy, and research guidance. He has authored several books, published many research papers, guided PhD and MPhil scholars, and served in various important academic and administrative positions. It is an absolute privilege to welcome Sir, Director, Central University, Amarkantak, to Amity University, Jharkhand, Ranchi. I welcome you to our session, sir, and request you to kindly take over. Over to you, sir.
Dr. Tanisha, introducing me. It is my privilege to meet all these young teachers as well as the noble teachers. First of all, I thanks to the UGC MMTTC in collaboration with the University Jharkhand. Now, as per our schedule, the university has approached me and given the topic is pedagogy, assessment, and ethics. So I think my screen is shared with you already. It is visible for all of you. Is it visible for all of you? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is visible.
So you may know that NEP 2020 is launched by the Government of India in the year 2021, July. And it is commenced and it was inculcated in the all the UG programs across the India. So once UG program means we are saying that it is a higher education. Up to +2, we are saying that it is a secondary education. Above the +2, whatever the education is there, that is called higher education. And in NEP 2020, about higher education, one word was majorly mentioned, that is called quality in higher education. Why it was mentioned? Is it not earlierly? If you think it is earlierly also there quality education, but some words they incorporated in quality higher education. To achieve these, they have to be required. Means here the students, undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctoral degree students, a good, artful, and creative individuals. Then only it is called a quality in a higher education. And as well as before developing all these things, we must need certain characteristics, certain ethicals, certain constitution values, intellectual curiosity, scientific temper, creativity, and service for the spirituality as well as the 21st century skills that is called the interpersonal skills. All these inbuilt in all the disciplines across the country. It may only not restricted for the academic, may not restricted for the professional courses, may not restricted for the technical as well as vocations. So means it is covered with all types of subjects, and these subjects are, as usually we say that they must be follow the quality. But the word which is clearly stated in the NEP 2020, very perfectly it is written that NEP 2020 is a very light, But it is looks light, but when you approach and when you experience, it is tight. Looks like means it is only a 66 pages and feels that it's a small textbook. Why across this country is follow this textbook means that document and this 66 pages is hello. Yes. 1 minute. I'm you may call after 4 o'clock. Please, I am in meeting. Please. Yeah. So means it is light but tight. Means looking a document is a very small one, but number of pages less. But each and every point is having its own priority. That's why to adjust, to accommodate, to inculcate, or to adopt to certain things is very tight for us. You may just see here the words access, equity, and inclusion. These are the three very difficult words. Access, we says that it is very easy. Equity, it is also easy. Inclusion also easy. But when you practice, these three words are very terrible in practicing session. Then, what are the key challenges in the current academic system which are reflecting in the higher education? Suppose NEP 2020 says that all the universities convert into a multidisciplinary university as well as colleges like the constitution colleges. Like earlierly, we have seen only in the Delhi University, there are 90 colleges are there. But recently, which we are observing in which any college having a more than 1,000 strength and having a across within the 8 kilometers, it is having connecting with a good rapport of the colleges. That center point of college is called as a constitution college. Okay. So like that, the changes will be happening through this NEP 2020 as well as the medium of instruction is it is depends upon the institution and depends upon the administrators according to their will and wish depends upon the local needs as well as the and giving priority for the three language formula majorly non-Hindi speakings the subject which is not speaking in the Hindi they have to be follow the Hindi subject and where the Hindi belt the non-Hindi language must be taken into consideration. And another one is the appointment of faculties and giving the autonomy of the institution is also priority given by this NEP 20. And coming to the major point is the curriculum must be changed because earlierly we must have know about that our graduation is having a three major subjects like botany, zoology, chemistry, maths, physics, chemistry, yeah, maths, physics, computer science, history, economics, political science, or commerce, like that. But now there is only one major, one minor, one multidisciplinary, and one value added course, one skill enhancement course, and one is an ability course. Apart this, there is an internship for the fifth semester, and there is a connection between the seventh and the eighth semesters is research orientation. So that's why the revamping of curriculum is also be given the priority and the teaching level, the pedagogy. Here you might know that pedagogy is related only the word which is up to 18 years only. After 18, andragogy. But pedagogy can be used when the subject is teaching in the four walls of room for the age group of above 18 also. And assessment and student support. That's why today our lecture is majorly focusing upon these things only. Pedagogy, assessment, and student support means ethics. How the students' ethics will be reflected. So these things only I am going to be cover. First of all, coming to the what is meant by pedagogy. It is a method of teaching or practice of teaching. Suppose I am teaching to the class 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Up to class 12, the age group 0 to 18 is comes under the pedagogical practices. And whereas andragogy is above the age group of 18, but it is only says that normally illiterate peoples are adult education peoples. Means those who are away from the regular mode of teaching are dropouts, backlog peoples, or illiterates. They make says that the principle of teaching is called as the andragogy. So that's why in our regular classrooms we are saying that pedagogy. And another third word is came into the existence between the 20th century that is called heutagogy. So what is meant by heutagogy? Heutagogy means it is a independent learning. Means in midway of 20th century, the UGC has introduced the online learning and distance mode learning. This distance mode learning is nothing but called as the heutagogy. Means the distance mode universities are supplying the self-learning material to the candidate, and the candidate is going through the subject. He can learn himself. Very rarely he can attend the few classes for clarification of his doubts when he go through this material. After that, he can be assess himself. So that's why heutagogy is called nothing but called self-determined learning. And nowadays, 21st century skills, when technology was improved and ICT is also be changed our lifestyles. Now ICT is gone away. Now it is came as digital technology, digital learning. So digital learning is mingled with the pedagogy. Both together we are called as the digigogy. So that's why when you are using the applications of ICT and the current trends of the technology in your classroom teaching, then you known as a person digigogy. These are the four different verbatisms we are using for the teaching levels. Now, what do you mean by teaching pedagogy? You can take that. Some extracurricular activities like sports, cultural events also initiated to students, and some psychotherapy services, interactive classrooms, visual, audio visual aids, some case studies, group discussions, seminar presentations, workshops, conferences, faculty development programs like us, and technology for learning, self-learning, and clinical decision makings, and high specialized hospital with clinical trainings. All these comes under the pedagogical practices. So a teacher is teaching with these different aspects. It may called as the pedagogical teachings or pedagogical practices. Now, why pedagogy is given the importance in the education? You just take into the left hand side to right hand side. First of all, it is increases the students' participation. Then it will be develop the students' personal learning as well as inclusive learning. And once you can personal learning, and it will be enacted with your connection with the teaching practice as well as reflective practice. Once you can teaching practice is improves, automatically your teaching quality is also improves. Once your teacher qualities improves, automatically you are connecting with the student-centered learning. Means students are attracted by your teaching. Once your students are attracted by your teaching, by default, your students' outcomes you can assess very easily. Once you can assess your students' outcomes, you can assess their skills, whether they developed or not developed. Means starting from left to right in this row angle, first participation to acquiring skills is a connecting of pedagogy. That's why pedagogy is very important in the education sector. Now, coming to the majorly, some components are required for the pedagogy. Among that, there are four things are very important. One is instructional strategy. Second one is maintaining the students-teacher relationship. Third one is evaluation of the student through assessment. And fourth one is sometimes it may be important or may not be important. And but we have to be know about these. That is called the cultural responsibilities. Means influencing of the local flavor. So you can add the local flavor in your teaching. By default, the pedagogy or the teaching must be gives a sense of knowledge for the students very easily. Now, you may know there are different pedagogical approaches. Among that, five types of pedagogical approaches, as you've seen the changes of the terminologies. Earlierly, I am taking only the 21st century pedagogical practices. Earlierly, lecture method, demonstration method, heuristic method, and scientific method. Okay, all these are also there. But the thing is, in 21st century skills, student approach learning, student centered learning is came into the existence. Based upon that, these five are very important into the stream. One is called constructivist pedagogy. This is a pedagogy which is developed by the person who says that it is the development of the student's own knowledge and we have to be receive it passively. Means here the teacher is a facilitator and the student is the learner is solving the problem. Second one is collaborative pedagogy, collaborative learning. So in this collaborative learning, it is a teamwork, group discussion, and problem solving. And these things will be completely tasks given by the students, and students has to be complete by way of their capacity. Third one is inquiry based pedagogy. Here the learner is very important and he is having a very curiosity, questioning style, exploratory style. In this, he is having a solving of problems, research orientation, and sometimes he will draw out the conclusions also. And the fourth one is integrative pedagogy. You might have known this when the people are isolations, means special educated people. So we have to integrated educations. So means combining with the different subjects. That is called multidisciplinary subjects. Suppose biochemistry, their biology, chemistry together we have to teach. Biotechnology, biology, technology, and biochemistry. So tourism management, tourism also there, mm, business management is there, marketing management is also there, hospital management also there. Many subjects are involving like that. So all these integrated programs will be called as the integrative pedagogy. The last one is reflective pedagogy. It is a cycle of the student doing himself, evaluating himself, and improving himself. So here the students are learn themselves and adjust themselves. Okay. So these are the very major five pedagogical approaches that we have to be seen. Coming to the second aspect of our talk is assessment. What do you mean by assessment? Suppose I am teaching. As of now, I have been teaching, and I certain time, sometime I teach for a 20 minutes about my pedagogy. Now I want to be check. So the check is through certain norms. One is I want to be collect the information from the students whether they understood or not. That is called the assessment. Okay. And evaluation. The evaluation is the judgment of the evaluator by the evaluation process on the evaluatee based upon his performance and progression. Suppose I was conducted a examination, and after that I assessed and evaluated. I assigned the score to the students. Based upon the score, I may rank the students from one to last. So means this process is nothing but called as the evaluation. Then what is the purpose of assessment in higher education? Why we need the assessment? It is required for student learning as well as development, because it is not only student purpose, it is one side is student level and second side is teachers teaching knowledge. That's why in higher education system, we have seen a number of things the teaching learning process. Just like first of all, we have to be set the goals. Then we have to be instruct delivery system. Then we have to be learning activities, and we have to be evaluation of the objectives also. So based upon all these things, we are going to be check our things whether the student has got the knowledge or not. If he is not got the knowledge, it may call as the feedback of his learning. Okay. Then this assessment purpose. The purpose is majorly getting the feedback, accreditation, and accountability. We have to be check the students' accountability as well as the knowledge also. Yeah. So once we check, then by default, we can come to know that the student is give you his knowledge in terms of process, in terms of actions, in terms of result also. Okay. Now, what are the types of assessments? You might have know that there are four types of assessments. One is called formative, second one is summative, third one is diagnostic, fourth one is prognosis. Among the four, majorly we are using the three categories. One is called formative, second one is summative, and third one is diagnostic. Let's we discuss about the formative. Okay. Can anybody can knows about this here? What is mean by formative assessment? Anybody is having any idea? So it is a ongoing of the lecture. During the lecture, the teacher is asking the students to get the feedbacks or to get the knowledge whether they understood or not. That is nothing but called as the formative assessment. Second one is summative assessment. Means this is end of your course or end of your sub course. Means in high school level we are called as the quarterly, half yearly, pre-final like that. Here also comes under the summative. And ours higher education and semesters, semester and examinations and curriculum and examinations. These are two only called as the summative examinations. Now diagnostics. You might know that diagnostic. What do you mean by diagnostic? I want to be check the students' knowledge, where they may be fit for the some priority or not. Suppose they may know the knowledge of the skill or not. So for that, what I say, I want to conduct one ideology. Okay. What ideology I have to show? I want to be check the things. Okay. I want to be check the things here. So that things are nothing but called as the learning gaps. It is called as the learning gaps. Means whether they will have the knowing the things or not. Suppose if you went for a disease purpose, checking with a doctor, doctor first of all write on a prescription, go and take the tests. Once you went for the diagnostic centers, there they may be checked with your blood or urine or with your some other types of collecting things, and they will be tested. Then they says that this much of hemoglobin, this much of BB, this much of sugar you are having, platelets counts, red blood cells, white blood cells, creatine, ESR, all these things. So means here, why I am saying all these things means the pre-tests we are conducting. After that only we are giving the remedy. That is nothing but called as the diagnostic test. Now, earlierly, what are the assessment methods? Earlierly, there are different types of methods out there. They are called as the semester exam methods, internal assessments, practical exam methods, and vivas. These are only when we are at the age of graduation. We know these are the things are going on there. But at present, continuous formative assessment means in between assignment work is given by the teacher, in between project work is there, in between certain presentations also we are checking, in between some seminars also given by the students. In the course of time, we have to brought the students for the field work, and sometimes depends upon the priority of our subject, which subject we have to be teach perfectly, practice in hands and field based. Then these things together is mixed, is called word internship. So means the curriculum is now designed a gamification of assignments, project work, presentation, seminar, field work, and internship. Without these things, there is nothing syllabus. There is no way connecting with the curriculum. any course, anywhere, any university. Because it is nothing but called as the continuous comprehensive evaluation, CCE. In terms of higher education, we are saying that continuous formative assessment. Okay. Now, what NEP 2020 is? You know that in our country, after launching of this NEP, how many seminars are went on this NEP 2020? Can you imagine? Anybody? Anybody can give answer? How many seminars, workshops, like faculty development programs or conferences was held on NEP 2020? कोई बोल सकते हैं देश में कितने हुए हैं आज तक? कोई बोल सकते हैं? ज्योति जी, इंद्रजीत जी, कुणाल जी, सयांतिका, डॉक्टर आनंद, एनीबडी? How many was held so far? Hello, my voice is audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Yeah. Across the country, how many programs have you ever seen on this NEP 2020 as of now? In our India, only two things are very popular. One is called research methodology course. Second one is NEP 2020. If the Guinness Book record is calculating research methodology course is become as a Guinness World Record. Because since our PG, till now also we are learning about the research methodology program. Like that, once NEP 2020 also starts from the 2021 onwards, everywhere you've seen that this NEP 2020 is either suffix or in between or prefix in the seminar titles, project titles, faculty development program titles, conference titles, anywhere. Am I wrong? Hello, Sayantika ji. कोई भी नहीं बोल रहे हैं. कितने हुए होंगे आज तक? Government, non-government, private organizations, altogether, how many programs were conducted on the NEP 2020? चैट बॉक्स में तो लिखो ना. आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा जी, सायंतिका.
Sir, you are talking about the number of programs held in our institution, in the institution where I teach.
No. Across the India, I am talking. My concern
Awareness
is
program regarding NEP 2020.
awareness or assessment or evaluation, whatever it may be, as of now, आज दिन
There
तक.
must be numerous programs, sir, because हमारे institute में ही तो कितने सारे programs होते हैं, awareness program to sensitize teachers regarding NEP 2020.
चलिए, अच्छा बोले आप. आज तक आप कितने पेज पढ़े हैं NEP 2020 में? वो बुक तो देखे है नहीं देखे है?
नहीं सर, देखा है.
ठीक है, डाउनलोड
It's
करे हैं बस इतना ही. पूरे नहीं पढ़े अब तक कोई भी?
नहीं, जो एस्पेक्ट्स हमारे कॉलेज में लगता है, मतलब हमारे कॉलेज के रिलेटेड है, फॉर इंस्टेंस स्प्रेडिंग होलिस्टिक एजुकेशन और डिजिटल एजुकेशन. हमारा तो प्राइवेट इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज है जहाँ पे मैं पढ़ाती हूँ. सो इट इज अ कॉलेज इन कोलकाता, affiliated to Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology. सो यूनिवर्सिटी तो हमें सेंसिटाइज करती है, हमारे कॉलेज में भी होता है, एंड डिजिटल एजुकेशन incorporating ICT in technical education, ये हम करते हैं सर, जितना हमसे हो पाता है, या फिर जितना हम लिमिटेड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में, बट वी ट्राई टू अडॉप्ट दीज प्रिंसिपल्स.
And at the same time, once it is over, we can forget also. है ना? During the week, we are remembering, and after the week, we can forget again.
नहीं, ऐसा तो होना नहीं चाहिए सर.
होना नहीं, हो रहा है देश में. इसीलिए as of now, you might know that there are 2,56,000 programs are went on this NEP 2020. देश भर में आज तक, है ना? मेरा कहना क्या है कि आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट फॉर, आई एम नॉट कमेंटिंग, बट नो वन हैज constantly read the 66 pages of NEP-2020. कोई भी आज तक जो हम जैसा वाले जरूरत पड़ा है ना, हमको, हम बोलने वाले हैं, हमको जरूरत है, हमें इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, इसीलिए हमें एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर्स पढ़ रहे हैं. बाकी लोग प्रैक्टिशनर्स एंड स्टेक होल्डर्स जहां चाहिए वहां पढ़ रहे, मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी चाहिए वहां पढ़ लिए वो पेपर. बस होलिस्टिक, जैसा आप लोग बोले, होलिस्टिक उतना पढ़े. डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी वो एक पेपर पढ़ लिए बस. मीन्स whenever you required that page, you are gone through and you can adopt it, that paragraph. But it's a very nice document, very simple language. That's what I'm said earlierly. It is a very light and tight. Each and every line also having a very big meaningful of this document. That's why pages are less, but work is more. Okay. Coming to the point is, my main concern is here. Why this NEP 2020 is majorly focused on the holistic. Earlierly, holistic is not there in our teaching. All-round development is called the holistic. But here, holistic means a joyful spirituality. Means Indian knowledge system to present knowledge system. That is only called the holistic. So, फिर समय भी था ना सर, फिलॉसफी था, साइकोलॉजी था, सोशियोलॉजी था. फिर वो ये क्या है होलिस्टिक? Means practice by the indigenous and Indians put together. Indigenous, who are the indigenous people? All are feel that indigenous peoples means only tribes. It is a very wrong notation. Indigenous means it is related to every human being. Suppose if you take a goldsmith, their entire family from the 5 generations, they are doing the same goldsmith work. It is called the holistic, indigenous practice. In between, suppose they've studied, they got the job, they left the course, and their children left the tradition, the community work, then they never comes under the indigenous. Means the community work which is passes through generation to generation, generation to generation, in all sectors of persons, then it is called the indigenous. So that's why if you take any community, now communities are modernization. Only the community which is tribal groups are very less population. They never left their practice. That's why UNESCO also says that the indigenous means only the tribes. Okay, this is, you must know that it is not only tribes. It is related to all of us. Okay, coming to back to the holistic competency based. And competency based means what is the competency that you have? Earlierly you doesn't have. Yes, everyone is have. what type of competency we have earlierly to achieving of the holistic. Just to see this picture, earlierly we are having the cognitive skills. Later it is turned into the communicative skills. And later it is turned into the technical skills. Now you doesn't have a technique also, but you can have a situational skills, means emotional skills or social skills. You might have be get the job. See, earlierly in the NMCs, multinational companies, they adopted only the ICT based course students or as a recruitees. But now their facet was changed. They never want to be these ICT people. They need only graduation and postgraduate students. Whatever the technical skills they required for this job, they are giving the small training and make them sure that they adopted. Once they adopted in the situational manner, they will be make them for the job orientation. That's why this whole process is called the होलिस्टिक असेसमेंट. ठीक है ना, समझ में आ गया मेरे का बात? इसमें कोई दिक्कत है? एनीबॉडी? हेलो? Now, why this competency based assessment was changed? Because earlierly everything we are kept in our memory, but now memory is not necessary. Everything is skill based. Earlierly we are by-hearting and we are writing the examination. Nowadays, no, not necessary. Just you can know what are the main keywords. Based upon the keywords, you can be present your own ideas and write the examination. You may get the good score also. That's what here says that, okay, it is called nothing but experience, trainings, competency, learning. Just you can see the pictures. What are the skills that we required to adopt the skill-based education as well as skill-based evaluation. Okay. Now, coming to the another area of critical thinking. The critical thinking is nothing but first of all, you must know about the what you required to what you need. Okay. So what you required? You want to require the creativity. How can you it will be, get it? First of all, you want to be identify the problem. Then you will have a clarity why this problem was happened. Suppose nowadays you feel that from the last year to this year, the temperature was increased in the month of May and June with a 2 degrees centigrade high. People and media means telegraphic and electronic media also be saying that because of it is El Nino. What do you mean by El Nino? El Nino is nothing but the heat waves will be passing through from the Arctic area to Antarctic area, means through Australia, Malaysia, Bangladesh to Asia, South Africa to North America to Antarctica. This is the wave. But when temperature is moving, our Hindu ocean is restricting a certain time for the heat waves less. You just see in 1997, like this also, there is a maximum heat waves are came. That time our Hindu ocean was stopped the heat waves in 2% of degrees. By that, there is nothing was happening drought areas. This time it was not happening. That why? This question you have to be posed because of Nowadays, you can see that there is a war between different countries to country. See, Russia-Ukraine war, years together going on. Iran-Israel war, it is going on. Okay, Afghanistan, Pakistan, it is going on. Okay, and you can see Cuba, America, it is going on. North America, South America, it is going on. So everywhere there is a conspiracy between the one country to another country. That's why due to this wars, the temperature is more high. इसीलिए हमें क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग में फर्स्ट हमको क्लैरिटी चाहिए, बाद में क्वेश्चन चाहिए, बाद में आइडेंटिटी चाहिए, बाद में उसको एनालाइज करें, बाद में एवेल्यूशन करके हमें बाद में ही हम उसको बोलेंगे ही इज हैविंग ए क्रिएटिविटी. Okay, now this creativity is checked with the Bloom's taxonomy. You can know that what is mean by Bloom taxonomy. So Benjamin S. Bloom's one educated person who came across from the Britishers to this country during his tenure of the stay in the country, means in India. He traveled across the country and identified the three domains of educations. One is called cognitive, affective, psychomotors. These three is called taxonomy. Among that major one is cognitive. It is having a 5 objectives. One is called knowledge, understanding, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. But revised Bloom taxonomy says that says that remember, understanding, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Okay. चलिए अब नया चीज आ गया. पहले हमें हमारा सीवी बनाते थे, अब उसको क्या बोल रहे हैं, आराम से पोर्टफोलियो. So means what your work you can be designed in a small comprehensively picturization. Now, reflective journals. So what you studied across your lecture, across your stay, that you must have be understand, must have to be growth, you might have to be knowing things is called reflective journals. इसमें थोड़ा हमें डिस्कस करेंगे. Reflective journals means review of related literature in our research point of view. आप सभी को जानकारी है रिव्यू ऑफ रिलेटेड लिटरेचर क्या होता है, कोई बता सकते हैं? सभी लोग पीएचडी किए हैं, हम लोग पूरे लोग कर रहे हैं. Why the review of related literature is more important? Even the student is wrote many things, but the examiner is not focusing on that, and no way is knowing and not asking anything about on this during their Viva VC or pre-submission seminar also. Why? सुशील जी, कृणाल, जूली वर्धन, कोई भी बोल सकते हैं. भावना जी, संगीता, anybody can give me the answer? Yeah. Sharda Jha.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
I just want to contribute that add on the things that the evaluation is very important to know about what other scholars are exactly doing and how the things are going on. If they are suffering from any of the issue that would be discussed, and so the evaluation is more important, and that is required time to time by the universities.
My question is, only you are collecting the some review literature during your
Yes.
work of research.
Yes, sir.
Even you presented well, but
Yes.
none of the examiner has given that much of focusing on your chapter. Even during your presentation, people are asking only methodology and your analysis and findings, not rather than their review literature. Why?
Okay.
Even though it is a heart of thesis.
Yes, it is. It is important. So, whenever we are presenting our idea or maybe our thesis, so actually that is understood that we have gone through the literature and we have finding our topic from the recent literature going on. Without that, the any of the presentation or any of the idea of PhD is not not validated. So that's why that is a understood point of view as well as by the evaluator that that you have done so far. That's why, sir. It's my view. It can be different.
और कोई भी बोल सकते हैं. मेरा प्रश्न पहले समझ में आ गया नहीं सभी को. हेलो स्मिता पटेल जी, मेरा प्रश्न समझ में आ गया नहीं सभी को.
Yes, sir.
क्योंकि ये रिफ्लेक्टिव जर्नल्स जब है, इसका मीनिंग क्या है वो तो आप जितना कलेक्ट किए हैं उसके ऊपर क्या पढ़े हैं, क्या आप सोचे हैं, क्या समझ में आ गया, आप उससे क्या निकाल रहे हैं, है ना, उससे आप कैसा डेवलप हो रहे हैं. जस्ट यू शुड सी द पिक्चर बिफोर योर एक्सपीरियंस, during experience, then after experience. Means, suppose I collected one review of literature. Suppose some X and Y Z has conducted a work and so and so. Okay. Then with that, what I can come under understood means they did the work at their places with certain norms and conditions, but certain independent variables and dependent variables. But certain times they cannot be mentioned the control variables or intervening variables. Intervening variables. So these intervening variables and control variables sometimes may be important, may not be important, but majorly it may be important. Those things they are not be mentioned in their thesis. So during your research of mind, this majorly this time during the experience, we come to know that whether they conducted perfectly or not. If they are not conducted perfectly, how can be change this concept and conduct in our research? That's why it is called as the research gaps. समझ गए? मैं सिंपल एक इसमें कोई एक सोशल साइंस टीचर है क्या? Any social science teacher is there? History, archaeology. Hello. Anybody is there? Anybody is there? Just I want to ask you one question. In history, it is saying that Stone Age, Iron Age, Modern Age, like this. This Stone Age and Iron Age are normally started from the last 15,000 years. नहीं ना 1500 साल के नीचे ही बस. उससे पहले जब महाभारत रामायण चला उस समय में या कर्ण या अर्जुन या दुर्योधन ये सभी लोग हमें देख रहे हैं. तीर्थ है ना, विल्लो and bow and arrow they are used. Gada they used the horse riding. They used the many things. When they used that time, why the Stone Age is started from this year onwards. Only 15,000 years. It is a long back, no? Mahabharata and Ramayana was held. Tell me. वो तो ऋग्वेदा त्रैता युगामो ऐसा समय में हुआ था फिर। ये थोड़ा सोचने का चिंतकजनक का है। ठीक है, चलिए अब आइए हमारे पास इस बारे में भी सोचेंगे। ओके, अनदर वन इज ई पोर्टफोलियोज। पहले पोर्टफोलियोज क्या है? स्टूडेंट खुद बना को एक डॉक्यूमेंट बना लिया तो इट इज कॉल्ड द पोर्टफोलियो। ई पोर्टफोलियो मीन्स इट इज prepare and keeping in a one file in your laptop or system or any application platforms. That is called digital platform. Is called the e-portfolio. Then self-assessment or self-reflection. Self-assessment, you have to be assess yourself. Based upon that, you may encourage your persons. You may encourage your responsibility. You may encourage your things. So that what are the negatives, what are the positives that you knows, and you cannot also perfectly assessing the others. That also you just see these two pictures. One is our self-assessment, another one is self-reflection. Self means yourself, and how can you reflect? Sometimes it may be a good, sometimes it may be bad, sometimes it may be normal, because of as per your attitude and behavior. So sometimes you are saying that I am very good. Sometimes you feel that I am bad. Okay. So these are the self-assessments. Then self and peer assessment. Suppose peer assessment is majorly between the same age group, same classmates, or at different age groups, different classmates, but one to each other. Means feedback given by myself to you, you to me. That is called the peer review. इसीलिए हम क्या करते हैं, एक पेपर भेजते हैं। भेजे तो क्या करता है जर्नल वाला, कोई एक एग्जामिनर को भेजता है। वो एग्जामिनर क्या करता है, आपका पेपर जांचता है। आफ्टर evaluating what he said that the methodology is not good, the introduction is not good, the literature has to be strengthened, you are written in the passive voice, you should be writing the active voice. Okay, you are written in the present tense, sometimes you are written in the past tense. So you have to follow only one type of things, present tense or past tense. So like this, comments will be given by the reviewer. So means who is he? He is also like you. Means the journal people as having one group of people. They send this paper to the others. They evaluate and give their feedback. It is nothing but called as the peer review. If it is not that, it is not a constructive feedback. Okay. Then टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन असेसमेंट, ये क्या है? टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन असेसमेंट का मतलब है हमें ऑनलाइन में बहुत चीजें देख रहे हैं आजकल में। लोकल मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, अभी आजकल में आईपीआर, इंटीग्रेटेड वॉइस रिकॉर्डर, आईवीआर में है ना। हमें आप किसी को एक कंज्यूमर को फोन कर देते हैं, कस्टमर फ्री को, इट वाज गिविंग बाय द डिफॉल्ट टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन। You if you want to be no language English, press 1, no language Telugu, press 2, no language Hindi, press 3. You want to know the language Tamil, press 4. Like that, different languages it is asking. We are choosing our language. Again, it is asking that, yes, you choose perfectly that you are Hindi selected. अभी मैं आपको कैसा सहायक हो जाऊंगा, क्या है आपका, means one question that they are asked. Then you can press one. It is related to the mobile. It is related to the DTH. It is related to the computers. It is related to the e-technology. It is related to the others. Press 9. So means this voice recording system, what called as the adaptive testing. Okay. Suppose I want to be test myself. I want to test the online also. Nowadays, what we are doing? Simply we conducting one Google form link. Prepare 150 questions, multiple choice, send the link to the student or anybody, even in your examination also. Google link is nothing but online examination. So nowadays, link is appears to the candidate. He click. Even today morning also, organizer sent me one link to join with this meeting through this link. So I joined, also joined. So this is online joining. Once online joining, we are testing ourselves. But as a resource person, I am teaching. As a learner, you are listening. Tomorrow, you are a resource person, I am also a learner. So it is interchangeable. Today, whatever I have a role, tomorrow I doesn't have also. Maybe, may not. इसलिए ये सभी चीजों में आजकल में कौन बड़ा है, कौन कम है, who is more, who is less, is not assessed by anybody. That's why what we said is online and adaptive testing. Okay. इसमें majorly digital learning portfolios. जनरल पोर्टफोलियो आ गया, बाद में ई पोर्टफोलियो आ गया, अब डिजिटल लर्निंग पोर्टफोलियो में आ रहे हैं. डिजिटल लर्निंग पोर्टफोलियो क्या है? योर जीमेल अकाउंट इज हैविंग ए ऑल योर डाटा. आप जस्ट लैपटॉप ओपन करें, आपका बैंक अकाउंट ऑलरेडी यूजर आईडी पासवर्ड सेव करके रखे बोले हैं, आप जस्ट उधर क्लिक करें तो ये यूजर आईडी के पास इट इज showing that your user ID is this is password is there XXXXX. You click by default it is open. Means you are already saved your details. This saved details is nothing but DigiLockers. This DigiLockers is once energetic. By default, they will be scan your data. They will be utilize the data and evaluate. So these things are nothing but called as the digital learnings. Okay. और ये स्किल बेस्ड प्रोग्राम्स. ये स्किल बेस्ड प्रोग्राम्स क्या है? मैं कोई एक इंडस्ट्री में गए, हमारे पास स्किल है नहीं है, चेक कर लिए, वो चेक कर से स्किल्स सही है नहीं है भी चेक कर सकते हैं. So means it is not only technical based, it is a technology driven and digital driven, and more particularly this humanity driven also. इसलिए उनको हमें बोलते हैं प्रॉब्लम बेस्ड लर्निंग. So means the problem is there. It is already known by many persons. And it is the problem solving necessity work we have to be adjusted. Once you adjusted, by default, you will be having a skill. Now, in the last 10 years back, we know that the CPCA system was a very cash-based credit system. So means the student has to be select his choice as per the grades, and he will be write the examinations, the flexibility that is selection of the course, and also evaluation. But now, modulation programs. So modulation programs means nothing but a periodic assessments. Like already I told the 6 programs like assignments, project works, field works, workshops, seminars, presentations. All these together we are saying is called model program. अब आइए हमें थर्ड पॉइंट में जा रहे हैं, ये है एथिक्स। अब तक हमें क्या पढ़ लिया है? पेडागॉजी बोलते क्या है और असेसमेंट बोलते क्या है। पेडागॉजी में क्या पढ़े हमें? पेडागॉजी बोलते क्या है? पेडागॉजी, यूटागॉजी, अंडरगॉजी, डिजिगॉजी। पेडागॉजी में 5 सब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं, कोलैबोरेटिव, कंस्ट्रक्टिव, इंटीग्रेटिव और इंटरैक्टिव एंड कंसेप्टिव. So these pedagogies also very important. And after that, assessment. Assessment is nothing but evaluation yourself through certain ideas. Now we are saying that the assessment by person, assessment of you, all these things also we will learn. So now we are going to be learn about the ethics assessment. This ethics means मुझे थोड़ा ईगो है, ईद है और सुपर ईगो भी है. Ego means I want to, it means I want to, this means that I'm required. It's called ego. Ego is little bit modification. No problem. Other also here, I will be joined for that. And third one is called the superego. Superego is depends upon the fluency evaluation. So like that, this assessment ethics also be here 3 types. One is called assessment development. It is concerned with the content invalidity, dimensionality, and based upon the items. And assessment administration. It is based upon the environmental, time, and behavior. And assessment scoring is nothing but lack of transparency, question alignment, confidentiality. तीनों मिलकर हमें क्या बोलते हैं? Assessment ethics. Am I correct? No. Coming to the major things are what is meant by professional ethics and values. You need the certain skills for knowing of yourself or adjusting yourself or fitting for the present scenario that is called 21st century. You must have a certain values, ethics, imbibe yourself, then only you will become as a 21st century teacher. For this, left hand side, one column is there. For that, 3 columns are also there. And right hand side, 1 column also there. And for that, 3 answers also there. In between, top center one is there. So this whole picture says that the involvement of the professionalism and the values. Suppose left hand side, it is saying that only pedagogy. Already we discussed about the student-centered results, different instructions there, and how pedagogy is linked with the content and technology. Right hand side, how the assessment is required for a learning, how assessment is required for a tool, how assessment is required for knowing the knowledge, like formative, summative, diagnostic, and how assessment is used as a evaluation purpose of the multiple answers. Okay, all these together are one is that by default they will be continuously grows. In that the teacher is about the professional ethics as well as values. This will be having a certain challenges and recommendations. What challenges we required to overcome of these ethics? We require the faculty trainings. That's why these faculty development programs are ongoing. So means all are we are conducting ourselves, but how many we are having the skill developments and effective assessments? We have to be pose ourselves. And sometimes we require the infrastructure requirements in terms of physical resources as well as digital resources. Physical resources are commonly known as the conducting of examinations, conducting of tests, classrooms, and but digital resources are digitally you can conduct the examination. The student is sent through Excel forms, PDF forms, image pictures, many tools. So these things are also we are required. Finally, I am concluding with the two slides. One is how this NEP 2020 is transformed from student-centric to holistic. It is a 3D 60 degrees multi-dimensional card for the students. So I already told that these are the cognitive skills, these are the affective skills, these are the psychomotor. These three are nothing but called as the Bloom's taxonomy. And among the cognitive, we have to be knowing about our self-assessment. And affective, our teachers also assess, our students also assess, means classmates, and our psychometers, our parents also assess. Self, you can self at home with brothers, mother, sister, and anybody, or it will be linked with our schools. And as affective domain, it is AI-based software also be like digital technologies and multi-layered, multi-sourced technology. And sometimes school-based assessment is depends upon the like Parak, NCRT, SCRT tools and child-based quiz roles plays. All these things is called NEP is transforming from student-centric to holistic. And finally, this skills and competencies is once you acquire, then your way of nature of learning is changing. Just you see where we have started with continuous of learning for each child. But afterwards, we board examinations has made, then higher order thinking, foundational skills we developed. Then we developed their career choices. Then we are one their assessment test like rank conducted by the board, different boards, and self-assessment and peer assessment also required. And finally, national testing agencies conducting the students. This is the whole gamification of the culture of assessment. This, if you have any questions or your experience, you can share with me. Thank you.
Sir, please share the last slide. Last page. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you have told that transforming the culture of assessment, there are several type of tests will be going. So it is for the which child continuing tracking of
Let's
learning
continue.
outcome of each child. So
Yeah,
initially for school level and later on it will be for higher education also.
Yeah.
So I have that question. For which level of students this will be applicable?
See, the students once start his learning,
Uh-huh.
once he joined in this any level of school, that is primary level. He has to be knowing himself that he is having a learning concepts, he is having the evaluation concepts, he must know the assessment techniques, he must know the learning outcomes. You just see, take the first class student, class 1. The class 1 textbook, what is there? Mummy, daddy, brothers, family, first chapter. About the relationship, the first chapter is teaching by the teacher. Before joining also in the school, the student knows at home up to 5 years who is your mummy, who is your father. These things as taught by his or her mother. That's why mother only introduced the whole family. Suppose if I am not be wrong, mother says he is only your father. Then the child is says that he is my father. Am I wrong? Mother only introduced. Father says that I am your father. Child cannot be accepted. Once the mother says only. Mother also says, yes, she is your sister. He is your brother. So means mother is introducing the family members. That's why before the teacher, mother is the first teacher because he is introducing your family members, blood relatives, your society, your culture. Then you stepped into the school. There, what the teacher says, the behavior mechanism, because mother cannot be teach the behavior mechanism. I think some mothers are teaching, but by love and affection of mother and baby, mother sometimes are restricted to teach the behaviorism. That's why education is majorly transformation of your behavior. The meaning of definition of education is transformation of knowledge and behavior. Am I correct or not? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Ram? So that's why our evaluation is starts from the behavioral nature. All these assessments is only changing your behavior. Suppose NTA conducted the NEET examination. Paper was leaked. Then students years together prepared. Their tension also lost. Again they are preparing. Whether the student has with the same spirit can give by on this 21st of June for the re-examination. उस दिन दिए सब लड़का आज 21 तारीख को री एग्जामिनेशन चलने वाला है जून में. Can he give the same spirit?
May not be.
Yeah.
It may or may not be.
May not be.
Yes, sir.
You cannot say exactly. Am I correct? That is the behavior. Suppose mother taught the culture. What is the culture? He is your father. He is your brother. It is lifelong up to your womb to death. The culture is same. Am I wrong? Yes. So means certain things what mother told is often final. But in education, there is a changes according to the situations. इसीलिए हमें इतना assessments करना पड़ता है. Have you got my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's why from school level to up to your end of course of examination, even still your employee, by default you have to attend the training programs. By default you are attending from the evaluation programs, faculty development programs, many things. So like that we have to be learn ourselves with the modification of our behaviors. It's only modification of behaviors, not modification of our culture, and religious and spiritual. Am I correct? Okay. Any other observations? Thank you for your wonderful observation. Maybe. Any others?
Thank you, sir.
If there is no question,
Any other query from the audience?
No, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Raju, sir. It was a very, really nice session. I don't think any other queries from the audience. And just now I rechecked it into the chat box. Yeah, there is no any query. Thank you very much, sir, for the informative session. Dear participant, we will take a little break. In 15 minutes, the second session is going to start at 3:45. So please be online. You can go and take a break and again come and join at 3:45 for the next session. Thank you very much to all of you.
can I take leave?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Speaker of the second session, Dr. Faiza Abbasi ma'am has joined.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am, and welcome to the session, ma'am. We are from Amity University, Jharkhand, and we are conducting this FDP in collaboration of JNV University, Jodhpur.
So you are based in Ranchi.
Yes, ma'am. We are based in Ranchi. Warm welcome, ma'am. So participants, you all need to join and switch on your camera. This is very important for the session. And I want to introduce our speaker of this session, Dr. Faiza Abbasi ma'am. She is a distinguished academician and environmentalist. She is presently serving as a program director, UGC MMTC, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh, with more than 2 decades of experience in academic and leadership under the wildlife science, ecological conservation, and environmental ethics. She has contributed widely as a teacher, researcher, and author, as well as public speaker. She has authored 16 books and delivered numbers of lectures across India and received several recognition for her academic and social contribution. It is a privilege to welcome Dr. Faiza Abbasi ma'am as a distinguished speaker for the day 5 on the topic of academic leadership, governance, and management. Welcome, ma'am, and it's over to you, the session.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Chandan, for that introduction. And great to see so many of our participants with their videos and their audios on. I think I'm very encouraged for having a good discussion with the learned participants who are present here, both mentally as well as physically and virtually, which is most important. So Dr. Sanjeev Kumar, Dr. Muhammad Rashid Iqbal, Dr. Neeraj Kanodia, Dr. Varsha Mittal, Dr. Aditya Joshi, Dr. Nilesh Kumar, Dr. Kunal Kumar, Dr. Himanshi Sharma, Dr. Raju Prajapati. I'm so glad that we are able to make some eye contact here as we go about learning in this session about leadership in academia. So Professor Rajesh Dubey has instructed me to speak to this group of participants at the University on how post national education policy the roles of academic leaders will be changed. And we've already seen a lot of this role actually being changed. So participants, in view of that, I will show you some of my slides that are about the VBSA, that is the Vikasit Bharat Shiksha Adhishtan, which we will be working with as the commission. Will be called, it was earlier supposed to be called the Higher Education Commission of India, but it will be working as the commission. It will be the highest governing body of education. I'll speak to you about the structure, the objectives, and I'll speak to you about the bill, जो Higher Education Commission of India का bill है VBSA 2025 का bill है. I will be speaking to you about. Show you my slides that contain matter on the verticals, what were the earlier 4 verticals and what are the 3 verticals now, what will be the constitution of each of the councils, there are going to be 3 councils, what will be the constitution of the commission, you know, etc., etc. But before that, let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion with each one of you who's interested. Because what I see here in front of me is not just teachers. What I see here is a group of faculty members. Because you're in the Amity University. You're not just in a college, you're not just in any school. You are.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. A little request. Can you please check your like mic or something? We are getting little low voice.
No voice.
Yeah, it is coming,
Is
but
that
a little
the
low.
case with everybody, Dr. Chandan? And then Dr. Aditya, are you two getting a low voice?
Yes.
Because that normally doesn't happen.
No, I'm using earphones, so I'm getting almost okay. But some of the participants just texted me, so I asked, okay, I will request, but I can hear. So I requested them also to use earphone because with earphone it is okay. If someone is
actually,
directly using it, is
wearing headphones.
yeah, yeah.
And no voice. All right. I need to get technical help. Please wait then. I need to get in touch with my computer in charge. I'll not be able to solve this problem myself. Give me a 2 minutes break then. Okay, what now? Is it any better? Can somebody please confirm? Dr. Chandan,
Yes, ma'am.
is it fine now? And will
Yeah,
the participant?
I can hear. That time also I was able to hear, but some of the participant, I don't know. If they will use earphone, they may able to get it.
So let's take
Yeah,
an
ma'am, you
opinion.
please continue because I can hear no issue.
Okay, what about
Maybe
Dr.
other.
Anand, Dr. Monica, Dr. Anand? Can you please confirm that you are able to hear? My technical help is on the way, but I have done something on my own in this. But let's see if that's getting done.
Hello,
Dr.
ma'am. You are
Sanjeev?
audible.
It's okay now.
You
It's
are
okay
audible,
now.
ma'am.
Audible now? Better?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Some of the participant also confirmed they are able to hear.
Dr. Pradipta says it's low, but we can hear. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, ma'am, please continue. I think many of are able to hear.
So friends, I think now everything is in order and we can go ahead.
Yeah, yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah. So the discussion has to begin with drawing a distinction between a higher education teacher whom we call a faculty member and a school teacher whom we call just a school teacher. Can I come to the group if some of you are listening and if some of you would like to give me your opinion? What is the difference between a faculty member and a and a school teacher? And why do you call yourself a faculty member? Why a teacher in a college or a university is called a faculty member? And why a teacher in a school is just called a school teacher? Anyone? Any answers? Any ideas? I will appreciate if some of you can even write in the comment box. What is the difference between a school teacher and a higher education faculty member? And why we call ourselves as faculty members? हम अपने आप को faculty member क्यों कहते हैं? हम school teacher को क्यों नहीं faculty member कहते हैं? किसी को कोई idea, participants? कोई कुछ बोलना चाहे?
Because university teachers, I think they have teaching and academic both works for them. So I think because of that, we are going to be the faculty members. Teaching as well academics works, research and everything. So I think so. This is so we are called as faculty members. And we are the
Very-
institutions, and we are academic staff as institution as a group. So we have sold as a faculty. I think so, ma'am.
Nee, you're very close, Dr. Rashid. I
Yeah.
must appreciate you're very close.
Actually, ma'am, in university there are various departments,
Hmm.
and the teachers related to that departments. That's why we call faculty, and collectively they teach a specific domain in specific domain. But in school, this type of not organization, the various departments.
So I'm very thankful to Dr. Chandra and also Dr. Rashid for that answer. You're absolutely right. We don't call ourselves just teachers. हम अपने आप को सिर्फ टीचर इसलिए नहीं कहते हैं because we are involved with multiple responsibilities. So when we look at our roles as teachers in a higher education institution, we define our roles not just as somebody who is imparting a skill, not just as somebody who is teaching how to read and write, and not just as somebody who is transferring borrowed knowledge in classroom, transferring borrowed knowledge in classroom. We are looking at people who are also involved with the development of knowledge, who are also involved with the creation of knowledge, who are not just epistemic seekers, but who are also innovators. We are looking at such people. So friends, much as we concentrate on taking classes and taking classes online and other things, in the same way, we also have to and we must concentrate on our research, innovation. Now, that brings us to two important parts of what we should be doing. We are being assessed on our contribution to teaching and research. We are being given promotion based on our contribution to teaching and research. Now, another important pillar, which I call the third pillar, has been added to our major responsibility of teaching and research. And that third pillar is the pillar of service learning. It's the pillar of community service. It's the pillar of extension activities. It's the pillar of outreach activities. Right? So 3 jobs to our profile. 3 dimensions to our profile. Community service, teaching, as well as research. One more aspect that is often added, and that this is not something new, it has been there. The aspect that has often been added to our profiles is that of academic leadership. At any given point of time, of the total faculty strength in any institution, 5 to 10% of us are always involved with some activities that are related to leading the institution. And these are the people who are called academic leaders. So we are one of those people who do not do academic administration. We are not clerks. We are not support staff. We are leaders in academia. So as a leader in academia, you could be an HOD, you could be your vice chancellor, you could be a principal. As a leader in academia, there is so much that you can do. And your job will be to give a new direction to the institution, not to do the daily nitty-gritty. If you're doing the daily nitty-gritty, you're not a leader. You're just a manager. Or you are just an administrator. There's a difference between a leader and a manager, between a leader and an administrator. If you are giving a direction, if you are giving a direction to your institution, if you are actually a change manager, if you are actually able to remain agile through a period of massive change and you're able to survive, then you are a leader. Now that brings me to another important question that I need to ask you. I'll be glad if some of you could let me know. If the definition of leadership happens to be aligning, engaging with people, inspiring people, leading them to a common goal where the benefits of both the team as well as the leader can be realized, the benefits for both can be realized, and where you will never reach unless and until you are led by somebody effective, and you will never reach unless and until you are leading an effective team, then this is the leadership trait. Communication, grit, focus, empathy. These are some leadership traits that we all need. We all need some leadership traits. However, there is some difference between a leader in an academic institution, say for example, a vice chancellor of a university, and a leader anywhere else. It could be a corporate firm, it could be a political party, it could be a unit of the Army, Navy, or the Air Force, the armed forces. It could be any other office, but not a university or a college or a standalone institution. So tell me, जवाब मुझे आपसे चाहिए. एक एकेडमिक लीडर में और एक बिजनेस फर्म के लीडर में क्या डिफरेंस है? बताइए, कौन बताएगा? एक वाइस चांसलर को कैसे कुछ अलग काम करना है और एक कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर की कंपनी को कुछ अलग काम करना है. हाउ इज दैट हैपनिंग?
May I, ma'am?
Yes, please, Dr. Jyoti. I'll be glad to hear you.
Academic leaders, mostly they have to build the future of the students, and that way they are making the future of nation also. And businessmen maybe more their views are more towards the finance or maybe the profit making for that company. That is the main difference, what I think.
You nailed it entirely. You nailed it completely. Thank you, Dr. Jyoti. That is the answer. The goal for an academic leader is different, and the goal for a corporate leader is different. The academic leader leads for quality in education by bringing out the best from amongst students, teachers, scholars in terms of scholarship. Whereas the leader in the corporate sector is working for its profits, working for improving its finance, working for a better performance on the stock market, which is not what we do, even if we are a private institution. In India, educational institutions are not allowed to run themselves for commercial interests. None of the Indian institutions are allowed to work for commercial interests like commercial organizations. पैसा कमाना हमारा मकसद नहीं होता है अगर हम इंडियन यूनिवर्सिटीज में हैं या अगर हम इंडियन कॉलेजेस में हैं. हमारा क्या मकसद होता है? हमारा मकसद होता है शिक्षा में गुणवत्ता. और वो हम कैसे करते हैं, वो हम किसके साथ करते हैं? वो हम तब ही कर पाएंगे जब स्कॉलरशिप हमारा एक होगा, जब पढ़ना लिखना हमारा एक होगा, और जब हमारी जो एक कम्युनिटी है टीचर्स की, स्टूडेंट्स की, स्कॉलर्स की, उसको हम कोलैबोरेशन से, उसको हम इनोवेशन से स्ट्रेंथन कर सकें. And that's how quality in education will improve, and that's how ranking and accreditation and assessment and everything about our higher educational institutions will improve. So as good leaders, we need to be empathetic. We need to have grit. Grit, you know what is grit? कभी हार ना मानना, इसे grit कहते हैं. कभी सब कुछ छोड़ के हाथ पांव डाल के बैठ नहीं जाना. Your ability to perform in the face of adversity, your ability to continue to perform in the face of adversity, that is what we call grit. Your resilience, your tenacity, your patience, your commitment, hard, strong commitment to long-term goals, your ability to put in a lot of effort for the long-term goal, that is called grit. And let me tell you, grit is a skill. Grit is not something like an inborn talent. It's a skill. And just like you can master any skill, you can master grit also. A lot of people think that those who are born with a silver spoon in their mouth, they are not capable of showing grit in difficult situations. They're not tough because they've been handed over everything on a silver platter. They don't know how to struggle. They don't know how to survive. In adversity, they give up very soon. They quit. But it may be true. But I will never agree to this, that anyone who is born in privileges should not be given a chance for leadership, because if he or she has developed grit as a skill, has honed grit as a skill, then they are equally good. Similarly, there is empathy, similarly, there is focus, and similarly, there is something called decisiveness. निर्णय क्षमता जानते हैं ना, फैसला लेने की कुवत, और अपने फैसले पे फिर अडिग रहना. So when you are a decisive person, you are not afraid of making enemies. When you are a decisive person, you don't sit by the fence. You have the courage to say yes or no, even if your yes or no is bringing you some brickbats, it's bringing you some enemies. Even if that's the case, you do take the decision, the right decision in the interest of the institution. So with these qualities, a leader takes a position in any institution. अब आइए हम थोड़ी बात इसकी करते हैं कि किस तरह से हमारे हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस बदल रहे हैं. इस तरह से हमारा पूरा गवर्नेंस मैनेजमेंट लीडरशिप बदल रहा है। किस तरफ जा रहा है? ऑटोनॉमी की तरफ जा रहा है। ऑटोनॉमी बिकॉज दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अ क्रिएशन ऑफ अ कल्चर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस that enables innovation, that enables good governance, that builds an environment where innovation is encouraged. When there is autonomy, there is accountability by design. आप सबको अंदाजा होगा हमारे सरकारी दफ्तरों की क्या हालत है। हमारी चाहे वो हमारी जुडिशरी हो, न्यायपालिका हो, कार्यपालिका हो, कुछ भी हो, we are heavily burdened under files, right? Heavily burdened under files. We are heavily burdened by the red tape, by the official technical jargon, and we have a large population of people who call them the keepers of the sacred flame of no one is accountable. आपको भी अनुभव होगा, आई एम श्योर, कि हम ऐसे तंत्र में काम कर रहे हैं, सरकारी दफ्तरी तंत्र, जहां ये फाइलों का अंबार है, जहां लाल फीता शाही अपने चरम पे है और जहां किसी की कोई जवाबदेही नहीं। सही हो रहा है, गलत हो रहा है, नो वन इज अकाउंटेबल। नहीं हो रहा है, देयर आर सर्टेन थिंग्स जो नहीं हो पाती हैं, but no one will take the responsibility. You can't bell the cat. That's the kind of system where we are surviving, where we are made to survive. Right. And this is what has been happening in the higher education sector too. Higher education sector में भी लाल फीता शाही, फाइलें, ऑर्डर, परमिट, कोटा, इस सब तरह की चीजों की वजह से आज तक हमने ये पाया कि हमारा this sector is almost 200 years old. If not, then at least it is 150 years old. What are the oldest universities of India? Anyone? कोई मुझे बताएगा भारत की पहली पहली जो विश्वविद्यालय थे क्या थे वो?
नालंदा
जी, नालंदा तक्षशिला एक एंशियंट पीरियड के यूनिवर्सिटीज थे। उसके बाद ये जो हमारा मॉडर्न टेक्निकल वेस्टर्न इंग्लिश एजुकेशन का सिस्टम है, ये जो हम यूनिवर्सिटीज में करते हैं, ये जो हम कॉलेजेस में करते हैं, ये वो सिस्टम ऑफ एजुकेशन नहीं है ना। ये तो हमने मॉडर्न यूनिवर्सिटीज जो कैम्ब्रिज, ऑक्सफोर्ड, हार्वर्ड, प्रिंसटन, येल की तर्ज पे अपनी यूनिवर्सिटीज को बनाया। ये कौन सी पुरानी यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं हमारे देश में? कोई बताएगा? कोलकाता यूनिवर्सिटी कितनी पुरानी है? How old is the Kolkata University? How old is the Bombay University? How old is the DU? How old is the Aligarh Muslim Universities?
Probably they are established in the mid of 19th century.
Yes.
Around that period. University of Madras, University of Calcutta, University of Delhi, all these.
G.
Yes. I don't know the exact year. Mid of 19th century.
G. Bilkul. 1857. 1857 is when we had the University of Calcutta, Madras, and Bombay. Then we had another group of several universities that includes the Lahore University in Punjab University in Lahore, the Banaras Hindu University, the Aligarh Muslim University, and the Allahabad University. Okay. Now, Aligarh Muslim University, actually it was founded in 1875 as a college, but later it was upgraded to proper university in 1920. Why I am looking at the history of the universities of the country is because today when we go in global ranking, Times Higher Education, top 100 universities, QS, Quacquarelli Simmons, which comes out from Australia, top 100 universities, the Shanghai rankings, top 100 universities. There are a lot of universities from Asia. There are several from China, also from Singapore. There's even one university in the top 100 world universities of the world from Saudi Arabia, but not a single Indian university. Why is it shocking? It is shocking on two accounts. We are a 200-year-old modern higher education sector. Our history is very, very illustrious. We are a large higher education sector. We have more than 1150 universities. We have more than 60,000 colleges. We have 172 institutions of national importance. That includes a lot of IITs and IIMs and NITs and ISERs. So we are a large sector. We have a large gross enrollment ratio. How many students are enrolled in higher education institutions? 4 crore. This is much larger than the total population of several countries. 4 crore. 40 million. How many teachers like us? हमारे आपके जैसे कितने teachers इस sector में हैं जो पढ़ा रहे हैं, research कर रहे हैं, community service, learning, extension, outreach कर रहे हैं और जो साथ ही साथ अपने institutions को lead भी कर रहे हैं. कितने teachers हैं total? हम जैसे 15 lakh. 15 lakh teachers, 4 crore students, 1150 universities, 60,000 colleges. That includes the standalone institutions. Yet, we don't have a single university in top 100. We have suffered from bad quality. We have suffered from a culture within our higher education institutions where innovation is suffocated, where towing the line is all that is required, where no risks are being taken, where there is no imaginativeness, where there is no creativity, where there is no courage for doing something. So that is one aspect that is very, very appalling and that causes pain to our hearts. that we've been in the industry for 200 years. We have expanded massively. In 1920, we had only 7 universities. And in just about 100 years today, from 7, we have risen to 1150. Right? जहां आपके पास 7 यूनिवर्सिटीज थी, वहां आज आपके पास 1150 यूनिवर्सिटीज और 60,000 कॉलेजेस हैं। तो क्या अब यदि आपको शिक्षा में गुणवत्ता चाहिए तो और यूनिवर्सिटी बनाना होगा? Do you think proliferation of universities is one way of ensuring quality in education? या कुछ और करना है? और यदि कुछ और करना होगा तो वो कुछ और क्या है? That is making the institutions autonomous and making them competition savvy and making them responsible for themselves, giving them their governance and letting them be on their own so that they can be accountable. ठीक है? तो अगर आपको आपके यूनिवर्सिटी में जो कल्चर है उसको चेंज करना है, आपके टोटल हायर एजुकेशन सेक्टर का जो यूनिट है उसके कल्चर को चेंज करना है, तो आप क्या करेंगे उसके लिए? नीचे से शुरू करेंगे या ऊपर से? हम ये मानकर चल रहे हैं कि ट्रिकल डाउन इफेक्ट, इसलिए टॉप मैनेजमेंट कमिटमेंट को हम वहां तक ले जाएंगे जहां से नीचे तक excellence, raising of academic standards, creation of a culture of innovation, risk-taking, imagination, creativity, actually contributing to the knowledge economy. That's going to happen. And that is when we will be at the requisite level of quality from where we can stake our claim for being one of the top 100 world-class universities of the world. तो दरअसल ही वर्ल्ड क्लास यूनिवर्सिटी का प्रोजेक्ट है जो कि NEP आपके हाथों में दिया गया है। और अगर आप एकेडमिक लीडर बनने की ख्वाहिश रखते हैं, अगर आपके अंदर वो डेमोन्स्ट्रेटेड लीडरशिप क्वालिटीज है जो एक एकेडमिक लीडर में होती हैं, तो फिर ये काम आने वाले समय में आपको करना है। आपको अपने बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स का मेंबर होना होगा, आपको ही अपने बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स के हेड को चुनना होगा और आप ही अपने बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स के हेड बनेंगे और आप पूरी तरह अपने अपने संस्थान के लिए जिम्मेदार होंगे और अपने अपने संस्थान की जिम्मेदारी के साथ साथ आपके ऊपर ही उसकी जवाबदेही भी तय होगी। The buck will stop at you. You will bell the cat. You will not exist in a system which is so mechanistic that it has disempowered you. आपके कुर्सी पे होने ना होने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। एक ऐसे सिस्टम में आपको कुर्सी पे नहीं बैठाया जाएगा। वो सिस्टम ये होगा कि आप जहां है वहां आप फैसले ले सके और अपने फैसलों को का निफाज कर सके। चलिए एक बात का जवाब दीजिए, आप सबके अपने अपने घर होंगे, खूबसूरत प्यारे प्यारे घर, सुकून का गहवारा, है ना? सब अपने अपने फैमिलीज के साथ अपने घरों में रहते होंगे, माँ बाप भाई बहन बच्चे, ठीक है, दादा दादी, ऐसे घर होंगे सबके। तो हम अपनी खातिर खा अपने अपने घरों में अपने अपने आराम का इंतजाम भी करते हैं, कुछ ना कुछ रोजाना कुछ अपने घर में लगाते हैं, सही करते हैं, साफ सुथरा करते हैं। फिर आप अपने अपने यूनिवर्सिटी में अपने डिपार्टमेंट में, हो सकता है कोई चेयरपर्सन हो, नहीं भी है तो कम से कम आप एक फैकल्टी मेंबर तो हैं। आज शाम में अगर आप घर जाएं और आप पाए कि आपकी गैलरी का बल्ब फ्यूज है, आप उसको कितनी देर में बदलवा लेंगे? और यदि कल सुबह आप अपने ऑफिस पहुंचे और आप देखें कि लिफ्ट के सामने का बल्ब फ्यूज है, वो आप कितनी देर में बदलवा पाएंगे? दोनों में लगने वाले समय का अंतर कितना होगा बताइए। घर का बल्ब आप कितनी देर में चेंज करा लेते हैं और अपने यूनिवर्सिटी का बल्ब कितनी देर में चेंज करा लेते हैं, बताइए। कोई जवाब देगा? कहाँ पे पहले बल्ब चेंज हो जाता है, कहाँ बाद में होता है? जी, बताइए, कोई तो बताए।
हेलो। हाँ
जी
मैम।
बताए, हाँ बताइए सर प्लीज।
जस्ट पावर लाइटर नोट मैम,
हाँ,
यूनिवर्सिटी में उस बल्ब से भी बड़े बड़े बल्ब होंगे जो कि चेंज नहीं करने देंगे।
अच्छा। जी, जी, मतलब कहने का ये कि घर का बल्ब चाहे तो 10 मिनट में चेंज हो सकता है, यूनिवर्सिटी का बल्ब नहीं चेंज हो पाएगा, है ना? बताएं, यही यही तो कहने का मतलब है आपका।
यस यस मैम, यस, ऑब्वियस। सारे बल्ब ही चेंज करने पड़ेंगे अगर क्वालिटी चाहिए तो।
तो देखिए, अगर हम ये कह रहे हैं कि अब तक हमारा जो गवर्नेंस मैकेनिज्म रहा है वो डिसएम्पावरिंग था, आपको एक प्रिज्यूमेबली पावरफुल चेयर पे बैठाने के बाद भी आपके हाथ में पावर नहीं है कि आप कोई चेंज ला सके, आप कोई गुड गवर्नेंस दिखा सके, क्योंकि आप लाल फीते के गुलाम हैं। हाँ? तो एनईपी का कहना यह है कि यही डिसएम्पावरिंग नेचर और यही मैकेनिस्टिक डेवोल्यूशन ऑफ फंड्स इस चीज के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है कि हमने कभी भी इस तरह से क्वालिटी को परसू नहीं किया कि हम टॉप 100 में शामिल हो सके। ठीक है, तो ये हो गया एक एस्पेक्ट अबाउट, यू नो, about how this sector has grown and how despite remaining in the sector we have not made the required progress. दूसरे एस्पेक्ट की बात करते हैं, वो है इंडिविजुअल इंडियन, द इंडियन, हमारे आपके जैसे भारतीय। फिर से कहूंगी, हमारे पास इतनी यूनिवर्सिटीज, हमारे पास इतने टीचर्स, इतने स्टूडेंट्स, हमारा इतना ग्रॉस एनरोलमेंट रेशियो, हमारे लोग जब किसी फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटी में जाके किसी साइंस लैब में काम करते हैं, किसी इकोनॉमिक्स लैब में काम करते हैं, उनको नोबेल प्राइज लेने से कोई नहीं रोकता। आवर पीपल, सीवी रामन, हरगोविंद खुराना, अभिजीत बैनर्जी, अमर्त्य सेन, born in India, Indians, brought up in India, but they could get a Nobel only when they went out of India. देश से चले गए, किसी बाहर की यूनिवर्सिटी में काम किया, नोबेल मिल गया। देश में रहते, किसी देश की यूनिवर्सिटी में करते रहते, आप भी अपने दिल पे हाथ रख के बता सकते हैं कि नोबेल कभी नहीं मिलता। Do you agree? You know, रामानुजन को सब जानते हैं। एस रामानुजन, श्रीनिवास रामानुजन। एस रामानुजन बहुत बड़े मैथमेटिशियन थे ना रामानुजन। This big mathematician would have been completely wasted. Because he was born in a small city called Kumbakonam. In Kumbakonam, he was not recognized for the mathematical prodigy that he was. All he did was he got a job of a clerk in the Madras Port Trust as a school dropout because his mind was engaged with his mathematics. He could not cut himself to the size of a successful person in the society who has a family and all that. He could not. But he went to Cambridge for his research, mathematical research in Cambridge that he did with Hardy. G.H. Hardy, Garfield Harold Hardy. And he gets a Nobel. And he could not get a Nobel. Of course, he died very young. But he becomes a well-known mathematical prodigy. He gives such theorems that are used till date in quantum research, in space research. So something went wrong with the higher education sector post-independence. C.V. Raman did get that prize while he was working in an Indian university. But all the remaining scientists, Govind Khurana, S. Radhakrishnan, V. Ramakrishnan, and S. Chandrasekhar, they all get their prizes while working in a foreign university. So friends, we have seen a major change with the advent of the national education policy, because the national education policy is geared towards making us autonomous, making us accountable, making us digitally so strong that we can compete with the best of the best in the world, and also making us more and more India centric. This is what the policy has for now as its major agenda. Now, very quickly, I will show you that which organ of law is going to be used for implementing the changed structure of higher education, so that the benefits of quality are. I'm sharing my screen now. Can you see, participants? Will somebody confirm? Is my screen visible?
Yeah, ma'am, it's visible.
And can you see the slideshow? Right. So we will look at the proposed regulatory structure of Indian higher education as per NEP, that is now known as the VBSA, that is the Viksit Bharat Shiksha Adhishtan. First, we will look at what the NEP says about academic leadership and how the NEP has inspired through its vision the formation of this VBSA. NEP says that so far we have suffered in quality because of suboptimal governance and leadership. So we need to reaffirm the integrity of faculty and institutional leadership positions through merit appointments and also career progression based on teaching, research, as well as service. Next, it says that outstanding and effective institutional leadership is extremely important for the success of an institution and also for the success of its faculty. So, such faculty which has demonstrated high academic and service credentials and which can be called as excellent faculty with leadership and management skills will be identified early and trained through a ladder of leadership positions. So it is effective governance and leadership that enables the creation of a culture of excellence and innovation in higher education institutions. And this is the common feature of all world-class institutions globally, including India. Wherever we have institutions of excellence, that we have merit-based appointments of institutional leaders. Now, these institutional leaders will be members of the Board of Governors. So in 15 years' time, through our institutional development plans, we will all have our Board of Governors in place, and positions of leadership and heads of institution will be offered to only such people who have shown all high academic qualifications, etc. But they have also shown strong alignment to the constitutional vision and to the overall vision of the institution. So this regime will have clear separations of roles and transparent self-disclosures, empowerment and autonomy to institutions, and the appointment of outstanding and qualified faculty. So NEP has identified some problems. It says we don't want very heavy-handed regulation. We don't want to regulate too much with too little effect. And the mechanistic and disempowering nature of the regulatory system, which is rife with very basic problems like heavy concentrations of power within a few bodies, the conflicts of interest among these bodies, and the resulting lack of accountability. So the regulatory system is in need of a complete overhaul, NEP says, so that we can re-energize the higher education sector and enable it to thrive. Now, NEP says we will have HECI, which we now know as the VBSA, and under HECI, there will be distinct functions that are being performed by distinct, independent, and empowered bodies. There will be checks and balances in the system. There will be no conflict of interest, and there will be no concentration of power within the hands of one body. So this commission will work as an umbrella body, and under this there will be the verticals that shall encourage autonomy and command accountability by design. So NEP had proposed that this is how the commission will look, and for regulation, accreditation, funding, as well as academic standard setting, we will have these four bodies that you are seeing in front of you. However, when this was launched, finally, when we saw it emerge in the form of an organ and instrument of law, we found that it is not being called just the Higher Education Commission of India, but it's being called Viksit Bharat Shiksha Adhishtan Bill. That was placed before a joint parliamentary committee on 15 December 2025. And there are these three councils under the VBSA. The Viksit Bharat Shiksha Viniyaman Parishad, that will be the regulatory council. The Viksit Bharat Shiksha Gunvatta Parishad, that will be the accreditation council. And then the Viksit Bharat Shiksha Manak Parishad, that will be the standards council. So these are the bodies that will replace all the existing multiplicity of regulators. Say, for example, the AICTE, NCTE, and UGC Act will be repealed, and all general, technical, and teacher education will come under one coordinated system. So this multiplicity of regulators will mean better coordination. So this is one of the major reforms which will help streamline the multiple regulatory bodies, and that's what the NEP has wanted. So with this repealing of UGC, ICT, NCTE, and with this bringing of all teacher, general, and technical education under one umbrella, the overlapping mandates and fragmented governance, the days of the overlapping mandates and fragmented governance will finally be over. This reform was much needed because what I'm saying is not that what we had was bad, okay? What we had was wrong. I'm saying what we had was good for that time, but times change. We have expanded, we have seen massive expansion, and therefore what we need now is something that is relevant to the present times. When we have grown in scale, when we have new technology, and when we have the entire global canvas for us to show our global competitiveness. In that case, the complex regulatory environment that we earlier had will not do. We need something where we have more transparency, more accountability, and only with that we will be able to improve the quality of education and, of course, enhance the global competitiveness of the Indian higher education institutions. That is why the main objective of this bill called the VBSA is to create a unified regulatory structure to promote academic excellence in research, and also, as we said earlier, we saw encourage institutional autonomy as well as accountability by design. So three councils, one regulatory that will oversee higher education institutions, the accreditation for evaluating quality and performance, and then finally the standards council that will define the academic standards and the learning outcomes. So learning is going to become more and more outcome based. Accreditation system will be outcome based. There will be a single window regulatory mechanism. and we will all promote multidisciplinary education and research universities. That is MERU, we call it MERU. So right now, as I told you, stakeholder consultation is going on. The bill has been referred to a joint parliamentary committee, and there are some opposition members also in the committee. Therefore, it is important for us to know what are their observations. On their behalf, there is debate on too much centralization of the regulatory powers. And also there is debate on institutional autonomy as well as funding. Say, for example, such questions are being asked that when all institutions will become autonomous, they will be responsible for their own funding, for their own expenditure, then where will the government funds be used? What about the education budget, etc., etc. So we will look at the councils one by one. The regulatory council will make sure that the federal structure of higher education, just like the federal structure of Indian political setup, is also maintained. So there will be strong cooperation between state higher education councils and the ministers of education of the states and the Ministry of Education and the commission. Then comes accreditation, for which we have the Gunavatta Parishad, the Viksit Bharat Shiksha Gunavatta Parishad, which will be called the Accreditation Council. This will not work like NAC and NBA. NAC and NBA are performing accreditation on their own. This will be a meta agency. It will only oversee the accreditation process in an independent ecosystem where there are no accrediting agencies, but there are accrediting institutions. So the framework shall empower all of us to take actions that are not prohibitive, but encourage us to be responsive to the needs of the students, to the needs of the faculty and staff, and envision them to reach an epitome of excellence for the larger societal transformation that we want. NEP says about accreditation that we are going to have a completely new system. Accreditation will be based primarily on public self-disclosure, good governance and outcomes, and it will be done completely in an independent system, which will just be supervised by a meta agency. So this will be a robust system of graded accreditation for the short term, but it will slowly be replaced in a phased manner so that all institutions become fully self-governing and fully autonomous in 15 years' time, which is what we all hope. And then accreditation will be binary. It will not be this kind of graded accreditation that we have now. Now, what will be the difference between the NEP envisioned accreditation mechanism and the present accreditation system? The present system is score-based, multiple grade. We are getting grades like A++, A+, B minus, like that. In the new system, it will be just binary accreditation. Either you are accredited or not. That's it. There will be no such thing as A++, A+, B minus, right? What we have now is portal based self disclosure. आप बताइए, आप लोग कर रहे हैं? आप में से कोई नैक का इसका काम कर रहा है? Participants? And if you're doing any NAC accreditation or something? पोर्टल पे इतना ज्यादा डेटा डालना आपको अच्छा लगता है? नहीं है। लिहाजा अब हम क्या कर रहे हैं, पब्लिक सेल्फ डिस्क्लोजर किया करेंगे। ठीक है, पब्लिक सेल्फ डिस्क्लोजर यानी कि आपको जो अक्रेडिटेशन काउंसिल से पोर्टल दिया जाएगा उस पर आपको इस तरह से डेटा नहीं एंटर करना पड़ेगा। अक्रेडिटेशन काउंसिल पर ही आपके सारे जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं वो डिस्क्लोज किए जाएंगे। आउटकम बेस्ड अप्रोच होगा। और सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि कोई एजेंसी बाहर से, नैकपियर टीम, कोई लोग इस तरह से आके आपका अक्रेडिटेशन करेंगे, बल्कि क्या होगा, यूनिवर्सिटीज ही यूनिवर्सिटीज को accredit करेंगी, and the entire approach will become a university type approach which will be outcome based and which will give empirical policy benefits to the institution. तो इसके लिए बहुत सी कमिटीज ऑलरेडी बनाई जा चुकी हैं और ये ऑलरेडी अपना काम कर रही हैं और ग्रेजुअली हम देखेंगे किस तरह से हमारा अक्रेडिटेशन चेंज होने वाला है। ग्रांट्स काउंसिल की अब हम नहीं बात कर रहे हैं। ग्रांट्स काउंसिल एनईपी ने एनविजन किया था, लेकिन अभी ग्रांट्स काउंसिल मिनिस्ट्री ने अपने पास ही रखा है और कमीशन के अंदर भी ग्रांट्स काउंसिल को नहीं दिया है। स्टैंडर्ड्स काउंसिल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये ग्रेजुएट एट्रीब्यूट्स तय करेगी। और बहुत से और भी इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं जो कि स्टैंडर्ड्स तय करते हैं डिफरेंट कोर्सेज के, आपको पता है। मेडिकल और लॉ को अभी इससे बाहर रखा गया है। इसके अलावा जितनी भी तरह के कोर्सेज हैं उनमें स्टैंडर्ड सेटिंग के लिए हमने एक स्टैंडर्ड्स काउंसिल बनाया है और वही से आपके सारे ग्रेजुएट्स एट्रीब्यूट्स डिसाइड होंगे। लेकिन हाँ, काउंसिल ऑफ आर्किटेक्चर को इसमें एक खास मुकाम दिया गया है क्योंकि ये दरअसल आता है इंजीनियरिंग में और टेक्निकल एजुकेशन हमारी सारी इसमें आ गई है, तो इसको एक पीएसएसबी की तरह से नहीं, बल्कि हर एक काउंसिल में इसका एक मेंबर, काउंसिल ऑफ आर्किटेक्चर का एक मेंबर हर एक काउंसिल में जरूरी माना गया है। एनएचएक्यूएफ आपको अच्छी तरह से पता है कि हम उस तरह के स्टैंडर्ड्स की बात करते हैं जो कि अब स्किल ओरिएंटेड है। सो इट विल वर्क इन वेरी क्लोज कोऑर्डिनेशन विद द skill qualification framework also, and most of all there is recognition of prior learning. Student पहले से क्या सीख करके आ रहे हैं ये भी हम और इसके हिसाब से उनके ग्रेजुएट एट्रीब्यूट्स तय करेंगे। और FYUP पे आपने देखा ही होगा, अगर आप इस तरह के कोई कोर्सेज पढ़ाते हैं, सोशल साइंस, आर्ट्स, लाइफ साइंसेस, ह्यूमैनिटीज, तो आपने FYUP के ये ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम्स के लेवल्स और इनमें मल्टीपल एग्जिट, मल्टीपल एंट्री देखी होगी, आपको अच्छे से मालूम होगी। all this has been done to give more choice to the student, to give more flexibility to the student. Please don't think that it has been done to confuse the entire system. हमेशा जब कोई नई तब्दीली आती है तो ऐसा लगता है कि जो पहले से चल रहा था वही ठीक था, मगर ये है ऐसा होता नहीं है। Change management is your primary requisite when it comes to your leadership. तो NHAQF या जो आपका, जैसे कि मैं स्टैंडर्ड्स काउंसिल कह रही हूँ, उसका एक बहुत बड़ा काम ये होगा कि इंडस्ट्री एकेडेमिया मिसमैच, इट विल रिड्यूस द mismatch between education and the labor market, right? और जैसा मैंने आपसे कहा कि और भी बहुत से बॉडीज थे जो कि ग्रेजुएट एट्रीब्यूट्स तय कर रहे थे, तो इन बॉडीज को अब हम डाल देंगे PSSP पे। They will all exist as PSSP, Professional Standard Setting Bodies. They will continue to draw the curricula, lay down academic standards, and also coordinate between teaching, research, and extension of their domain, their discipline, and then as members of the बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स होंगे तभी ये सब हो पाएगा। बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स के मेंबर्स आपके और हमारे जैसे एकेडमिक लीडर्स बनेंगे और ये लोग वो होंगे जो बहुत ही क्वालिफाइड हैं, जो बहुत ही कॉम्पिटेंट हैं और जो बहुत ही डेडिकेटेड हैं। ये बिना किसी एक्सटर्नल इंटरफेरेंस के काम करेंगे, रेगुलरली मिलेंगे और कमीशन को यही अकाउंटेबल फंडिंग के बॉटलनेक्स भी यही देखेंगे और अपने बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स में किसको शामिल करना है और अपने बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स का हेड किसको बनाना है ये भी ये खुद देखा करेंगे। So with that, my friends, how VBSA will bring in a completely new governance and leadership and management mechanism I have explained to you, and now I think I have come to an end of my slides, what I have to say to you. Anyways, if some of the participants have any questions, I can take them up. या मैं कुछ कमेंट्स देख लूं तब तक आप लोगों के कोई सवाल है तो प्लीज कर सकते हैं आप, सारे ही पार्टिसिपेंट्स से कह रही हूँ। जी एनी क्वेश्चंस?
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a really interesting session, a new perspective to understand the requirement of NEP and its validity as well in current scenario. I am really grateful on behalf of everyone present. I extend my gratitude to you, ma'am, for your precious time and your wonderful session. Thank you so much, ma'am.
My best wishes to everyone.
I believe there are no questions in the chat box. Your details have been shared. We will get back to you again and again for more such sessions in case we need, whenever we need, your kind of guidance, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All the best, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.